I studied with Dick Audrin and had done a bunch of gigs, and of course, Dick Audrin, the pianist, worked with Emil Haddad, the great trumpeter and flugel player, who was like a mentor for many Worcester musicians. And Dick, he was helping me with my compositions. And at the time, I was a big fan of Paul Desmond. I liked his phrasing, I liked his tone, I liked his compositions. He just was an amazing player. A critic once asked him how to describe his own sound. And he said, I think it sounds like a dry martini. So when I was writing my tune, a tribute to Paul Desmond, I just came up with the title Desmond Dry, and that's in honor of Desmond.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. That is that one you wrote yourself, you say?
That's an original composition that I wrote myself, yeah. Dick helped me fashion it. In the beginning, I was writing too much.
Yeah.
There were too many notes in it. So
less.
In a former life,
more type thing.
Correct. In a former life, I was the arts and entertainment editor of Worcester Magazine, and I would always tell my writers to, less is more. So I subtracted it, and I feel much better about the spacing, the way the tune breathes. And I didn't intend to play this today as a bossa nova, but the guys in the band said, "Try it. It'll be a nice little mix." terms of blues and jazz, which has been my center, I was fortunate enough to somehow innately I thought about history and archives and that kind of thing. And I had the good fortune to work with some players who came up playing in the 20s.
Yep.
One of those players was Jackie Byard. I never got to work with him. Jackie went on to Boston and New York. He was the first black educator at New England Conservatory who taught jazz. He ended up teaching at a variety of different colleges at Hart and Manhattan. I wrote a book. I wrote his biography, in fact. But there are players who leave town and they become famous, yeah, or they just leave town and they play elsewhere. And there are players who stay home and they play music for their community. There were players that played with Jackie. I sought them out, and I had the good fortune to work with people like Barney Price and Howie Jefferson, who worked with Jackie when they were just teenagers. And there was a club on Main Street called the Kitty Cat Lounge, owned by Reggie Wally, and I worked with Reggie for about 5 years in a group called the Reggie Wally's Bluesicians.
Nice.
So I felt like I was in a kind of the source, because Reggie started out as a tap dancer, and as he aged, he migrated to the drums and played rhythm with his hands. But the feel was there, and occasionally we'd play a tune and he would put the sticks down and go out and dance. And so I feel blessed to have that kind of experience.
Sure.
Yeah, but that and 20 cents will give you 20 cents. Yeah. 1, 2, buckle my shoe. grew up in a housing project in Worcester called Great Brook Valley,
I know it well.
and we used to hang around the Lincoln Neighborhood Center. Most of the time was spent outside behind the building. We'd gather in a big circle. There might be as many as 25 people. There would be a jug of Bally High or Ripple. Some would have smokes and some would have harmonica. And we just pass it around in the circle, and I seem to have ended up with a harmonica. And it's been with me since I was a kid, 13, 14 years old. I see it as my voice. It gives me an outlet for creativity and expression. It's portable. I can carry it with me. I've played through a variety of instruments as well, testing the voice, but it didn't speak to me the same way the harmonica has. I also had the good fortune of sitting next to a harmonica player of some note by the name of Babe Pino, all the way through junior high school and high school. And he had a very popular band in Worcester. They used to play at the Ale and Bun on Thomas Street, better known as the Phelan Fun. And he had people like Barb Margolin, who played with Muddy Waters for many, many years on guitar. Piano player was Dave Maxwell, who's played with everybody, including Freddie King. And so I had the good fortune to rub elbows with Babe and steal all his licks. But I began to hear something other than blues when Stevie Wonder hit me with Fingertips, and then later Toot Steelman's with Bluesette. And I've been searching for different voices, ultimately looking for my own. It was a tune I also wrote in my time studying with Dick Audrin, and I wanted to play something and write something for Emil. I only got to play with him once. We did a concert in the park, Institute Park in Worcester.
Yeah.
But I followed his career because he was someone that everybody talked about. So even before I was old enough to go and see him in nightclubs, restaurants, bar rooms, what have you, I followed him. He had a group called Emil Haddad and the Notables. And he was a working musician playing jazz in Worcester for virtually his entire career. He did a lot of commercial work as well. So I was impressed by that and tried to shadow him. In any case, I started writing this tune, and Dick said, you could write a little more on the bridge. Let's do a series of 2/5s. I think Emil would like to play all those changes. So he basically wrote the bridge.
Nice.
And we wrote the tune together.
1, 2, 3, 4.